Ladies and gentlemen, the day is here. Currently we are sitting in John Deere's brand new 779RX. And today we're going to be leveling up some ground with our 60-foot field cultivator. I am very excited to see how this tractor performs with this field cultivator. I've ran a lot of field cultivator with the 640 John Deere quad, the older generation. So I'm really excited to see how this 770 stands up to it. And I am quite sure that it will demolish the acres per hour that I've been getting lately. Anyway guys, I'm going to top off with fuel real quick and we'll continue the video. So obviously the exterior of this thing is different than the previous generation. It looks pretty aggressive. I'm not sure how well you guys can hear me right now, so I apologize if the audio is bad, but it definitely has a more aggressive stance than the previous generation quad tracks. Also, you can tell the fuel tank is no longer on the back, it's actually underneath it, which makes it a lot easier for fueling purposes. As you can see there, I didn't have to climb up a ladder to get to the fuel tank. And there's no depth, so score one for the good guys. And I'm a very comfortable 6 foot, and these tracks are taller than me. I'm sure you guys just wondered there, why'd you take your shoes off? Because this tractor is very, very nice. And I'm going to keep it as clean as I possibly can. Quick thing on the interior before we get going. This is a pretty big fuel tank, so it might take a while. We were 3/4 full, but I think it's still going to take 5 minutes or so. A couple things on the interior. Obviously, I'm sure most of you guys have seen videos on the new tractors, but I bet you have not seen it in the field. So definitely stay tuned for that. First thing off the bat, there's a little cubby right there. You could probably fit, I don't know, 2 foot long subs from Subway in there, maybe a couple Twinkies. Another different thing, this corner here, the old generation tractors and everything, this right here came all the way down to there. So there's a lot more room to turn sideways now, like put your lunch pail, your bottles of water, you do all that cool stuff. Otherwise, interior wise, that's what pops out to me the most. Obviously the cup holders are different over there, so I'm sure people will really enjoy that. There's probably half as many USB ports, which, not gonna lie, John Deere went a little bit overkill in their 2021 and 22 models of tractors. But if there's one thing you cannot have enough of in today's world, that's chargers. Anyway, cab view looks a little bit different, obviously, because that is significantly trimmed down. You can turn the turning radius. I would say it's comparable to what it was in the older generations, but the view out of the cab definitely is different. I mean, there's no fuel tank right there. All of this is open. Even looking forward, the hood, I would say this is more comparable to like a case quad track hood, how it's just kind of beefier and wider, but it doesn't really obstruct your view at all. Obviously, being a new tractor, it has the new corner post and main screen monitor. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're off to the races. Alright, boys and girls, let's get this thing rolling. Now, just for context, in case you're new to the channel, which I'm assuming plenty of you guys that clicked on this video are, the 640 gets around with a 60-foot cultivator. I can usually go about 8.5, get around 60 plus acres done per hour, not counting end rows. So that's just our baseline, I guess, for myself right now to see what this tractor can really do. Jason, if you're watching, I just scooched over a little bit on my screen so I knock out all the encroachment from the ditch. One thing I will say about those stairs, it makes it feasible that you can walk down backwards and close the door. The old ones you had to like walk facing whatever way or just jump off because they were so steep. So I know the guys up in Minnesota, Larson Farms, Doug complains about that a lot. So there's no way he's watching this. But Doug, just know that John Deere fixed it. No, I stopped because I think we're going a little too deep, or too deep enough that we don't need to be going that deep. Wow, that was great. We were going too deep, and we don't need to be going that deep because it's not as efficient. So we're gonna raise it up a little bit. Let's see what that looks like. I'd say that looks much better. As long as we're wiping out our tracks, that's really all we want to do now. Load up the ground. We'll do another pass before we plant the corn in this field. Yeah, this works a lot better. Yeah, that'll do. As always, guys, comment what you're up to. I was out in Colorado last weekend. Troy got married. I know you guys have seen Troy on this channel before. He takes a lot of videos out in Colorado, so congratulations to Troy and Kaya. Everyone comment that.
Go ahead, Bob. Yeah, let's get it over here. That's good right there.
Yeah, I could definitely get used to this. I'm really looking forward to running the ripper with this tractor this fall. Maybe a plow. I don't know yet, but I think I'm going to try to be in this tractor as much as I can. It's pretty nice. One thing I definitely say I do like so far, when we've been in this tractor for maybe an hour, is the fact that I can turn pretty much straight, you know, looking that way. It's just so much easier on my neck. Being turned around for most of the day. So that is definitely one thing that I do appreciate that John Deere did. Can confirm the wife is bringing Subway, so we can myth bust or not whether this little cuppy right here can fit a Subway sandwich. I bet you it can. Pause the video right now and say over under. The over under is 2 foot long Subway subs. So take the over or under on 2 foot long subs fitting in that cubby. You were running right there.
I know, I'm fast. It's like we're in Florida with all these seagulls.
Max, are you able to finish that with what you got?
You think he's going to be able to finish that?
Yeah, I just filled up. I should have enough to finish. Did you finish that? Is there passes back?
That's what I'm going to tell your followers. Okay, you already did that. He'll show you later, I promise.
No, I won't. I love you.
Love you too.
Well, guys, slight thing with our Subway sandwich cubby thing. My sub's pretty much gone, so we're just gonna have to fabricate a number. It was about 1.5 subs. Yeah. Well, guys, we're almost halfway down this field. Should take another 30 minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna finish my sub sandwich, admire the seagulls flying around, and I don't know, hope it blows up. Just put supper in the old heating skillet. I have an egg sandwich I made today at noon, so stick around for the review of that. That might be interesting. It's been a good day. I mean, the men's college basketball championship tips off in like in 2 hours maybe. I think so. I think Florida's going to win by 50, but I also thought Duke was going to win by 20 versus Houston, so maybe I should just pick Houston. I don't know. Comment down below. Obviously, when this video comes out, that game will be over, but I guess comment who you had. I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna have whoever won. No, I've been in this tractor probably 5, 6, 7 hours, and one thing that I've definitely noticed is the ride is much smoother than the old generation of quads. I know some guys are gonna comment Case was better anyway. I've ran a lot of Case quads, or for about 3 years, that's what we ran on our farm. I would say back then, the Case quads definitely drove better and felt smoother than the Deere ones, but the Deere ones had all the tech. So Case was probably better, you know, 5 years ago, but I feel like right now Deere has both. I haven't driven a new Case. I haven't driven a Case for probably 2-3 years, but based off this tractor alone and the previous generation, I think they got this one right. Obviously these tracks are massive. I know at the beginning of the video I showed they were as tall as me. I'm telling you right now, these things are wide, and they are making this ride very smooth. I mean, I'm going across ground that was ripped last year, and ripped pretty aggressively at an angle, and it feels like I'm driving on a road right now, like a nice paved road. And I promise you, this is not an ad for John Deere. Obviously, on our operation, we run a lot of John Deere. Primarily, we run John Deere, and it's for a lot of reasons. It's not because they give us free equipment. But if John Deere, you're watching this and you want us to try out some equipment for you, reach out. But no, I just think from the looks of the cabin, obviously the performance today, this has been a really nice tractor to run. And to go along with the smoothness of the ride that it's been so far today on some pretty rough ground, the cabin noise is also significantly, in my, I guess, experience, definitely quieter than the Case quad. And honestly, it's considerably quieter than the previous generations of John Deere quads. Like, once again, I haven't ran a new Case, so I could be way wrong on just my knowledge of Case quads. They've always driven great. I've plowed, I think, 2 or 3 falls using a Case quad. I've ripped countless acres in a Case quad, so I feel like I have a pretty decent understanding of what they were about, you know, around 2022 probably, but this just blows it out of the water. Alright, now one thing we have not talked about is the acres per hour compared to the other tractor. And as you can see, it's getting about 65.4. Now I'm going 9.3, give or take. I have the preset or fully automatic transmission set at 9.6, and I would say rarely have I been at that 9.6. I've been at 9.5 pretty consistently though. So I'm getting 65 to 67 acres done per hour. The other quad I could go about 8.6, so you could do the math and get really specific on it, but I think I was usually around 60, maybe a little bit less, because I always didn't maintain 8.6 obviously. So I'm getting, I would say on average, you know, 6 to 8, 9 acres done more per hour. So I think that's pretty nice. Obviously the more you can get done efficiently and correctly is the name of the game nowadays, especially in the farming world. One thing about going this fast, I know with the rotary hoe and like high-speed discs we go, you know, 10 plus. Hitting rocks, going 9.6 with a 60-foot cultivator is not good on things. Also, the wear on the sweeps, I feel like would be faster than going 8.6. I don't know, maybe that's getting too technical with it, but just the thought, even like ripping, I think it'll be more even about fuel efficiency than actual like doubling the speed and having the same implement as you did on a smaller tractor. I don't know, just food for thought. It just had me thinking today about that stuff. But I think our supper's almost ready, so we might eat that. I don't know if you can see, Charlie's over there in his Jeep. He's been driving around in that little thing, shutting off irrigators. Kind of looks funny. Nope, I would agree. I would say the breakfast sandwich was a success heating up. We had eggs, obviously, a hash brown, some bacon on a bagel. Wrapped in tinfoil, threw in that thing for about 20 minutes or so. Worked pretty good. I wonder if like frozen taquitos would heat up good. I know pizza rolls do, but I'm not sure about those. Maybe we'll try those tomorrow. And at some point, because Bo asked, we gotta make French toast. You know, I am glad to be back in the tractor, but I'm now realizing it's 8 o'clock and I don't have a vehicle at the field I'm at, and kind of wondering how I'm gonna get home tonight. And I'm sure you've seen Charlie's Jeep tearing around here. I'm sure he might have been in one of those drone videos, but I don't know where he went. But anyway, college basketball's on, so it's not too bad of a deal if I'm in the tractor for, you know, another hour or two. Well, anyway, guys, we're gonna call it a video. If you liked today's video, leave a like. Comment John Deere or Case. Which quad do you like better? Me personally, I don't know if you can tell from this video, I like John Deere, but comment what you guys like more. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are not, and we'll catch you in the next one.